Lights rise on a railway station. William Flimflam Barrington strolls onto the platform, runs a hand through his ever-whiter hair, and introduces a swagger to his step. He plucks a handkerchief from his jacket pocket and wipes a smudge from his pocket watch.
Right on time.
He glances at the sign on the Union Station clock tower above.
Go.
Reading.
By train.
He snaps the watch shut and sighs. He muses aloud to himself.
In another version of all this, another age, I might have been part of a grand presentation on stage. Even now, I might be tapping my way across the floorboards and hopscotching around benches. I might even be breaking into song.
Singing.
Right on time, right as rain, on my way to meet my lady, and I can't complain.
A young woman, Veronica, enters.
I might even take a twirl with a pretty girl.
She passes Flimflam without noticing him.
Excuse me.
She exits.
Please, miss, wait a minute, don't go.
The platform is empty, like him.
No.
No?
No, I'm not sure we should take things that way. I'm winding my watch back.
He does so.
I might even take a twirl with a passing girl.
Pause.
Go ahead.
Beat. A young woman, Veronica, enters. Lost in thought, she pulls a roller back. She passes Flimflam.
He takes her by the elbow.
May I help you?
She catches his smile. He nods, and suddenly they take a little twirl.
Wait, what?
You're bewitching.
You're charming.
Actually, I'm William. William Barrington, but my friends call me Flimflam. So I hope that's what you'll call me when you tell your boyfriend about me.
Flimflam. Thanks for the little spin.
A distinct pleasure, Miss
Veronica.
Veronica. Thank you for giving me a moment of your time.
I've got a train to catch. I've big things ahead. I gotta stay on track, you know.
If you'll pardon my saying so, you look distraught.
It's just, I don't know, my whole future. I'm in one word, yes, and suddenly it's all mapped out.
He bows and kisses her hand.
You don't need to do that.
I do, actually. At least I think I do. I've been planning this for ages.
No, I didn't mean you. Of course, you should catch your train. But remember one thing. The future is not a done deal. From time to time, anyone can and should step off the match.
I'm not sure I understand.
Forgive me. One passing glance, one fleeting dance with you, young lady. I got swept away. Oh, my ticker is really racing.
He sits. After a moment, she takes a seat beside him.
Are you all right, sir?
Oh, please, don't call me sir. Call me Flimflam.
Flimflam. Where on earth did you get that name?
Oh, it wasn't on Earth.
You're crazy.
No, I'm Flimflam. It wasn't on Earth. It was on water. I was on a ship.
A long time ago?
Yes, a long time ago. Long before the formality of my attire grew out of fashion. Long before these tiny blood vessels wriggled across my skin like streams on a map. My nickname arrived in the nick of time, and it might just have saved my life.
Well, that sounds like quite a story.
I don't want you to miss your train.
Oh, actually, I've got a little time yet. Why don't I keep you company for a minute just to make sure you're okay? Go on. It's a good tale, I bet.
Funny you should say bet. The name came in a card game with deadly high stakes. You care to double down? How about, if you're impressed and you believe me, I get one more little twirl.
And if I don't believe you?
I'll pay for your train ticket, and I will take my bow.
Just based on my word?
Yes, honor system.
Deal.
Excellent. A woman who takes chances. That takes spontaneity. Imagination. I can see you're already imagining the setting. The dark old cargo vessel, plowing the Pacific at night.
As he tells his tale, his enthusiasm and the power of his voice builds.
Based on my name alone, you can practically see a table circled by safecrackers and getaway car drivers and miscellaneous figures of unknown profession and dubious reputation.
An assortment of shady figures from his tale enter and gather around a card table.
Can you picture them the way I do? Of course, I was younger then, but I've always had an old soul. It feels like I'm there, right now. They had names like...
Ice Prescott. I'll tell you just once. Call me Ice.
I don't think I'd call you sweetheart.
Ice stares at him, not amused.
I tell you, the man was a definition of cold customers. He could stare down a polar bear.
Orson Friel clears his throat.
Then there was Orson Friel, also known as the Touch.
When it comes to doing the job, you can hire others. When it comes to doing the job in style, when you need that extra something, you need just one man. You need just the touch.
Was a little bit touched in the head, if you ask me.
You want we should put the touch on you?
No. And while you're at it, please don't put me in cold storage. I'll be on my way.
Not so fast. You've come to the wrong table, fancy pants. I could drag you above decks and shove you overboard right now. I've already got a half a mind to do just that.
Well, then let's be happy the other half is not in use.
Relax, Ice. Keep it cool. Maybe this newcomer wants to join our little game. Maybe he came to the table deliberately, recommended by a mutual acquaintance. Maybe he has skill reading you.
You know, maybe he just stumbled across our little game. In that case, his luck just ran out.
You see, they weren't just playing cards. Their little game, as they called it, was a heist. I could see plans of it everywhere, blueprints, escape route, the name of a bank, weapons. If I was not their kind, I was a liability. Ice was sharp to suspect me. I was just a traveler who had stumbled across it all. I've been looking for the head, and now I really had to go.
So, who are you, mister?
Fortunately, there was one more player.
Gentlemen, be careful how you treat this man.
You know him?
Not by face, but by reputation. Maybe. Could be one of the boys sent by a snuff box, is that right?
Could be.
Good answer. Snuffbox plays his cards close to the and his people close to the chest. He's careful. He only works with men who keep their head, men who pitch what they've gotten, men who work fast on their feet in a tight jam.
So what do you call yourself?
Fortunate to be in your company.
You're not in our company yet.
Easy there, Ice. He's just cracking wise.
Right. But apparently I'm not cracking ice. He is too solid for my hot air to melt.
Do you have a moniker?
Oh, I assure you, my vision is 20/20, though not always in hindsight.
Not monocle, you twerp. Moniker.
Pardonnez-moi, s'il vous plaît, mon uncle.
You better speak English, pal, and pronto.
What are you then? A gunslinger?
I'm quick to draw conclusions.
Second story, man?
Only if the first story needs revising.
A getaway driver?
No, I prefer trains, but I can drive you to distraction.
You're driving me crazy.
I'm showing you what I can do. I'm showing you I can buy something for you. Something you need.
We don't need a fence.
I meant no offense. I meant another commodity. It's quite an oddity.
Out with it already. Spill it or eat some lead.
It's time.
That's what I mean. Your time is up.
A mysterious woman enters. She's Hecate, Lady of the Crossroads. The others do not see her.
Did I really meet her back then all those years ago?
Who?
That's what it says here.
That's not how I remember it, at least as I recount it now.
I think you better follow me, Mr. Barrington.
No. You're quite alluring, but please, begging your pardon, I can't leave just yet.
This is not at all the way it happened.
No.
Are you certain?
No.
Precisely. You see, he agrees there's doubt.
Wait a minute.
And he wields great power, just like you. It's all about switching trains, changing destinations.
It doesn't work that way.
This way is better. You know it.
You're pushing your luck.
Until we meet again. Time. Yes, my time is up. Out in the open, on the table.
Quit stalling.
But that's what I do. That's what I can offer. Time. I deal in it. I can buy you time.
I'm impressed. Looks like you just bought yourself some.
So you're saying, if we need to keep somebody engaged in, say, conversation, whilst we make off with some hot merchandise.
Or cold cash.
I'm your man. The teller of tall tales. Hot air to fill sails. Lips to launch flights of fancy at the drop of a hat. Now, you take my cigarette case. I meant figuratively. I'd really rather not part with it. It was given to me by the Grand Duchess of Vilnius on the eve of her coronation, just before I slipped from her vacation chambers beside the Neris River. Oh, those eyes of her. I could swim in them at every blink.
Heard of these types. They're grifters like, but instead of cash, they swindle attention.
I like to think of myself as a prestidigitator of thought. Now you think it, now you don't.
A flimflam man.
Not just any flim-flam man. Nothing flimsy in my whimsy. No shame in my sham.
I would go so far to say as you're the very definition. You're Flimflam himself, aren't you?
At your service.
You're good. Whether you really are as good as you say or not, I'm inclined to believe you.
And that, my friend, is entirely the point.
Lay off your mind.
I'm glad sometimes the touch can be soft. Soft. Gentle, I mean. You're a gentle man. A gentleman after all.
Come on. Is that really how you got your name?
It was only later, long after I got to shore and tricked my way out of their little game, I learned more about the one who had helped me. I ran into him on the street, in the shadows.
Flimflam saunters near Schmidt, nearly passing him by.
Flimflam?
You, from the card game. Allow me to shake your hand, friend, and thank you. Who are you?
You can call me Schmidt.
I can call you miraculous, helping me find a way out of that hot mess with your cold friends.
They're not my friends. I'm not one of them.
You don't actually run with their crowd.
I was posing as one of them. Like you. But unlike you, I was there for a reason. I was casing them, on the down low. I had investigated them, infiltrated their operation, and convinced them I belonged in their little game while I gathered information from my client to bust them.
And you could tell right away I didn't belong there. I was in danger. But you couldn't say it.
Couldn't show my cards just then, no. But Lady Luck was on your side, pal.
How's that? I nearly wrecked everything for you and nearly got myself killed.
Took weeks for them to feel comfortable around me. Took you a few minutes and fast talking.
Flimflam produces a pocket flask and offers it to Schmidt, who declines.
Rough night.
Rough nights are my business.
Penny for your thoughts.
You'd best keep your spare change,
Considering my luck.
considering my thoughts.
Schmidt, thank you for giving me my identity.
You gave it to yourself. I just nudged it along a little.
They nod at each other in farewell.
These are the people who populate my night walks, my card games, my train stations.
You still haven't answered my question.
Well, yes. You do look fabulous.
Thank you. But that's not what I asked. I asked if that was really how you got your name. Is that the truth?
Truth? What's truth to a man like this?
What is the truth, really, to anyone?
You paint quite a picture of yourself.
What's all the fuss?
You're the fuzzy one, everything having to be so charming, please.
Don't be so touchy.
Am I being touchy?
You're a nostalgic nincompoop.
Well, at least I'm not a flibberty gibbet.
What the hell is a flibberty gibbet?
Damned if I know.
Swiftly, Flimflam pulls Veronica into another twirl.
I'm doing it, see?
I'm doing it too, but hey, we're dancing and we haven't finished our wager.
Ah, this little twirl doesn't count. I can't help myself. You're the cat's pajamas.
And you're the bee's knees.
Right on time.
Right as rain.
We will make our next connection.
And we can't complain.
How do you know this tune?
Oh, my grandfather used to sing it.
The dance stops abruptly, and Flimflam notices the entrance of Hecate.
Really?
Hey, I didn't mean to offend you. That's just how I know the song is all. So, sorry. Why did you stop?
Something about you is familiar. Is there some way I can help you?
She says nothing, but gazes at him. Flimflam, locked in a trance, finds he cannot tear his eyes away. Finally, he retreats. She continues to look at him as he returns to Veronica.
She spoke to me just now.
Who?
That woman. Can't you see her? Am I the only one who can? I see her all the time, all over the place, in empty doorways, beside dark alleys, under damp bridges, everywhere. I've seen her for years, but until now, I never listened to her.
I didn't see anyone. I didn't hear anything.
She looked right at me. She said,
Fear me.
the words, they resonated in my skull almost as if they were mine. She said,
I am dead, but I am not gone, and I will not go. The shadows of time are thin. They mean nothing. Fear me. I am the crippling sorrow that can befall you when the look the wrong way an instant too long, when you make the wrong choice. I am dead, but I am not gone, and I will not go.
You look pale.
but not as pale as her. Hecate, the woman haunting me.
I didn't see anybody. I didn't hear anything. I don't know if you're pulling my leg.
He is pulling a leg.
Come on, be reasonable.
You're the one who should be reasonable.
She's just a beggar lady. His story, like all of them, is all just a bunch of hooey.
You seem to hear and see a lot of things that aren't there. Are you sure you're all right?
Veronica, listen to me, please. Everything depends on how you choose to look at it.
He glances at the station clock, listens for the chime.
Can't you hear the music swell?
Music swells.
I don't hear anything.
Don't you realize this moment in our lives, right here, right now, at the train station, it means something, something important. Everyone here, every fellow passenger we encounter on our journey to the journey, not just each other, we're all on our way somewhere. But in this moment, we've all reached this intersection, this moment where transition comes to fruition. Ba,
Right on time.
right as rain.
We will make
capture
your
us
next
connection and feel no
okay.
pain. Can you sense it? The excitement burbling like water down a mountainside.
Coalescing into a collective froth.
About a gent is met, the complexity of a railway station wheeling us forward
They wheel forward.
in almost clock-like precision.
Your enthusiasm, Flimflam, it's remarkable. I feel like it's spreading.
From the frantic businessman on the phone.
We're almost home free.
To the conductor who, let's say, of course, he happens to be British.
Jolly good day to you, sir, miss. Please do mind your step. We shall be departing shortly.
To the unkempt shoeshine boy.
I've never seen shoes so sparkly.
And for this one shimmering moment,
Lead us all on our ascension to the climax.
As the station clock reaches a thunderous and joyous chime.
Right on time.
Clong,
Right as rain.
clong,
We're sublime.
clong, clong.
Watch where you're going, old man.
right on time.
The dancing stops as Flimflam turns and notices Hecate.
Really?
Sorry.
Thank you.
You should be accustomed to these interruptions. They happen all the time now, don't they? I warned you to fear me. You can only hold on so long. It's time you came with me.
What's happening? Are you seeing that woman again?
She has a way of slipping in when nobody quite notices. She is doubt. She is reality.
I am true, unlike you.
You are only one kind of truth.
If I could hear her, what would she tell me about you? About where you got your name?
He made it up, out of thin air. A fit of bravado in a simple card game among friends.
You can choose what to believe. You have power over the way things unfold.
Flimflam is a deception, a swindle and a cheat.
Some say Flimflam is a trickery. I say nonsense. I never fooled anybody who didn't deserve it, and I never tricked anybody who didn't want to believe.
You are your own best client. You swindled yourself into believing your own imaginings.
When you believe something strongly enough, other people want to hop aboard.
I enjoyed the ride.
Pleasure was all mine.
A train whistle sounds. Hecate takes Flimflam by the elbow.
Really?
A beat.
Thank you.
You really are a weirdo. But you're a charming weirdo.
We need to be on that train. It is past time that you came with me, Mr. Barrington.
Call me Flimflam.
You can't bamboozle, dance, or tell stories to stall your way out of this particular journey.
I'm glad we stepped off the map.
From time to time, everyone can and should.
The future is not a done deal.
You'll have to agree. My enthusiasm is contagious.
I'll have to agree.
Flimflam, you won your bet.
Suddenly, Hecate stops. Flimflam releases himself from Hecate's grip. He runs a hand through his gorgeous white hair and reintroduces a swagger to his step. He heads to the opposite exit.
You've already pushed it too far.
Until we meet again.
Flimflam steps out of her reach. On his way out, he kisses her.
Thanks, friend. I owe you one. I'm off for one last twirl, and I'm going to stay ahead of this one. I'd better catch another train.
A different train whistle sounds.
Right on time.
End of play.